Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I want to say thank you to those who take their time to support our channel. I have watched and juxtaposed the way William Ruto is handling his perceived enemies in the Rift Valley and the way Rigathi Gachagua is handling his perceived enemies in Mount Kenya. And I have come to one conclusion. I can deduce without a shadow of doubt that William Samoei Ruto has given his deputy president Rigathi Gachagua a poisoned chalice to drink from. Well, may I put it just simply that he has given Rigathi Gachagua a rope to hang himself. When Ruto jetted out of the country to Germany and Brussels, he left behind a vengeful Rigathi Gachagua. And of course, they had planned and masterminded several things that they wanted to do in the country. But he fled to leave Rigathi Gachagua to take full control. And it's believed that it is Rigathi Gachagua, Kimani Ichung'wah, and Ndindi Nyoro, great sons of Mumbi, who are poised to take leadership from William Samoei Ruto should anything happen. Should there be any bargain that the Mount Kenya also want to ascend to power, these are the people whose names are given. So they decided to go and interfere with private property of their own brother Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. They invaded, they sent goons to invade, to steal, and later torched it. But as that was happening, I want you to see what William Ruto was doing to his perceived enemy, Gideon Moi. Let's go to what is recorded. Ruto allows Gideon Moi to build multi-billion power plant, supply electricity. Ladies and gentlemen, a multi-million power plant supply electricity. Let's read further. It says, President William Ruto provided former political rival, look at that, former political rival and KANU party leader Gideon Moi the license to generate and supply power. On Saturday, March 18th, Energy Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir inspected the construction of a geothermal power plant in Menengai, constructed by Social Energy, a firm where Moi is the majority shareholder. Chirchir was received by the firm's director and Gideon Moi's son, Mr. Keegan Moi, who took him around the facility. Keegan also explained that the plant would begin generating power in April 2023. So as Rigathi Gachagua and some members of the Kikuyu community were interfering with that multi-million project that belongs to the Kenyatta family, William Ruto was building his other friend or his enemy, Gideon Moi, because he knows very well, let us now juxtapose, as I told you, that politics is a very dynamic game. In 2027, he might need Gideon Moi, and so he does not want to burn all the bridges. He does not want to close all the doors for talks. Because do you know how you close all the doors? By your behavior. The way Rigathi Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro, and Kimani Ichung'wah are handling the former president, they are closing all the doors. And William Ruto is the opposite. He knows very well that he might need Gideon Moi. William Ruto does not want the members of his community to perceive him as someone who is vengeful against his siblings, because there are a council of elders and they are watching how he handles his people. By the end of the day, he knows that there is life after politics. You see, I saw him interfering with his party. He engineered the resignation the longest serving Secretary General, Mr. Nick Salat, a very good friend of Gideon MOI. But that is what that is the least he did. He never went to their property, because let me tell you something. If we open a can of worms, when we decide to now look at who grabbed what and this, Kenya can go to war. Issues of land are very emotive, and we cannot bury our heads in the sand and pretend that there is nothing. Yeah, we know there are people who grab land, but it is in the TJRC Truth, Justice and Reconciliation report that the parliament does not want to order to be released, because when you think that there is a family that grabbed land, it is not only that family. We have several injustices that needs to be opened so that people can say, "Oh, I'm sorry," so that we know what happens. You don't send goons, and William Samoei Ruto knows this very well, and so he's setting Rigathi Gachagua against the Kenyatta family while he's building bridges between him and Gideon MOI. And you know what he's doing? He knows very well that the relationship between the Kenya Kwanza team and the Azimio team is one that is not palatable. So he must leave someone in Azimio who he can send when things get tough. You see, today, I don't think there is anybody who Gachagua can send to Raila Amolo Odinga should things get thicker, and maybe he wants them to talk. I remember when Kalonzo decided that he didn't want to support Raila Odinga in the last elections. It took the efforts of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, a very good friend of both Raila and Kalonzo Musyoka. You need to get someone who dines with the enemy. Martha Karua cannot, because the way Rigathi Gachagua is handling himself, he wants to become the Mount Kenya kingpin, but he does it by trampling over those who he wants to lead. You see, he wants to lead. You see, when he becomes a Mount Kenya kingpin, he wants to lead even Uhuru Kenyatta. But the way he's handling Uhuru is something that is really wanting. So on that side, he's doing that, while William Ruto knows very well that he's coiling and is trying to make sure that should things get worse, he can say, "Gideon, please tell Raila to come." As it is with Rigathi Gachagua, there is none. He's also protecting the wealth of their community. Let us just call a spade a spade. He's protecting the wealth of the Kalenjin nation. He knows very well that when he gives Gideon this contract, they will be employing many of their youths. When Rigathi Gachagua went and sent goons and they cut down trees and they took away all the animals and they were selling them, there are people who are employed in that land. And I can assure you majority of them are the Kikuyu sons. So when you do that, you are kicking some people out of employment, while on this side, William Ruto is protecting their wealth. So, nyinyi mnatumwa nendeni muharibu, lakini yeye hii side, anafanya nini? Analinda mali yao. Do I call it foolishness? Because I don't want to appear like I'm insulting people, but it's foolishness if you ask me. William Ruto will drop Rigathi Gachagua, because the choice of the people who are executing this dirty plan is very significant. Ndindi Nyoro, Kimani Ichung'wah, and Rigathi Gachagua, as I've mentioned before, are great sons of Mumbi. Their names appear whenever you talk of succession politics. If Gachagua is not in the picture today and you want someone to take over, Ndindi Nyoro or Kimani Ichung'wah will be there. But they're the people who have been taken and they've been given a trap, and they have fallen into this trap. You do not interfere with your brother, especially tycoons like the Moi family, the Kenyatta family. You don't just joke around with them. They can mess you up. By the time William Ruto will drop Rigathi Gachagua will have no one to speak for him. Hata kuwa na mtu wa kutetea. You need to have a backing behind you. You see, when you interfere with Rigathi Gachagua today, for example, and you see Uhuru Kenyatta talking, you will be shaken kidogo. But what is Ruto doing? He's trying to ensure that he becomes an enemy of their people. And then what is happening again is that William Ruto is setting Rigathi Gachagua to appear like he's isolating the Kikuyu community to become as an island. He appears to be speaking for the Kikuyu nation. When things are happening in Nairobi, he says, "Oh, my people." Even today, he's telling people that Raila Amolo Odinga wants to shut down their businesses, as if it is Kikuyu community only who have got businesses. And Ruto is taking this advantage. Rigathi is so much obsessed by taking over, being the Mount Kenya campaign. Sometimes he's in Sagana, sometimes he's in Mount Kenya praying to their God. And you see all these theatrics and you know what is happening. So ladies and gentlemen, I want the Kikuyu nation, because in this video I want us to call a spade a spade. I want the Kikuyu community to be very careful. Ruto is giving you a poisoned chalice. You are killing yourselves. Don't mess around with your wealth. I'm telling you, he's busy protecting their wealth on this side, and he's telling you to you know, destroy yours. And who is presiding over it? The sons of Mumbi, presiding over the destruction of the wealth and properties of the sons of Mumbi. I don't know whether I'm wrong, but this is what I read. Be very careful. Above all, no one needs to be subjected to the kind of thing that Uhuru went through. We don't need goods to kill any Kenyan, to destroy any property like Raila's factory, the East Africa Spectrum. Let us respect one another. There is life after politics, ladies and gentlemen. I have neighbors who don't support Kenya Kwanza. I have neighbors who don't support the Azimio. All that we know is that we are brothers and sisters. And today, if I have a problem, I can run to them, regardless of their political affiliation, regardless of their tribal affiliation. All we know is that we are friends and we are Kenyans. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us be wiser. And that is my take.